I just wanted to give you a little more explanation on your grading criteria for your Get Your Freak On short story or video with script. Remember, these are PG or PG-13 rated stories and scripts, so nothing inappropriate and not too much gore. You will be graded on characters. So characters, remember, are people or personalities in your short story or video or script. We want to make sure that your characters are described through a variety of actions, thoughts, and possibly dialogue, especially if you're doing a script, and that readers and viewers have a clear understanding of the character's personality. So, of course, and these are two pictures from the Telltale Heart. Of course, with the madman or the caretaker, we know he was crazy because he kept saying he wasn't crazy and he kept telling us what he was doing, which was stalking the man for 8 nights. And we know that the old man was very frail and weak because one reason he had a caretaker and he couldn't take care of himself, and he was easily overcome by the caretaker. Next, you will be graded on setting, on creating a time, place, or atmosphere. So we want to make sure that your setting is described or created using sensory details. So make sure your video, make sure your short story has a specific setting. Also, we want to make sure that your readers or viewers clearly understand where and when the story takes place. So for instance, with the Telltale Heart, we know that it took place in an old house at midnight. Next, organization. You will be graded on the sequence of events or plot structure, which we are going over today. So we need to make sure that the events of your story are told in a logical, chronological order, and that the reader or the viewer can easily understand and follow the plot, so we know exactly what's going on. And this is a diagram of Freytag's pyramid, which we'll be talking about later as well. Or maybe we already did. I'm not sure which part we're going to get to first. You will also be graded on your language and conventions, so we need to make sure that your story or your script is generally free of distracting errors in grammar, usage, and mechanics. You need to make sure that you use correct capitalization, punctuation, there's no run-ons, and you use good spelling. So basically what this is saying is you need to edit your work 500 times, kind of like how when I would sit down with you and I would go through your bio narratives or your persuasive pieces, and I was there for probably about 20-30 minutes going through and making it better. That's what you should be doing with these short stories and scripts. Also, you'll be graded on the suspense and fear factor, the ability to evoke one or both. Some of you aren't doing like a fear thing, but you're doing more of a suspense. So, ooh, that word got in the way here. So, readers or viewers experience suspense and or fear. That's one thing that you need to be able to do. Also, anticipation is accomplished because of the writing of the the cinematography. So we will anticipate because of how you are writing or because of the cinematography. For instance, in Button, we kept wanting to know what she was going to do with the button, if she was actually going to push it. Or in the Telltale Heart, we kept wondering, is he actually going to kill the guy or is he just going to stalk him for 8 nights? Cinematography, sometimes you can create that through just scenes, like for instance, kind of a long pier, different long shots. Also, most elements of suspense or fear seem natural rather than forced. So you avoid the overuse of gore and jump scares because those are too much. That's not really how a good writer or an author is able to evoke those emotions. And you have a clear focus that was on achieving this purpose, suspense, and fear. So it is clear the focus was on achieving suspense and fear and not just to use like a bunch of blood or just to try to scare people just like yelling or whatever. So we need to make sure that you were clearly doing your best to creatively evoke suspense and fear. Also, some people are interested in trying to do the funny route with something scary, but being funny, comedy is the most difficult genre. Anything with comedy is really difficult for other people to think as funny. So you might think you're funny, but let me stop you right there. You're not funny. So anyway, this is the rubric. This is how it would be graded. Please let me know what questions you have, if I can answer any more questions about this. Thank you. Good luck. Have fun with this.